Dudu has to carry this game. Like, his equalizers have to deny entry to team fights. They have to slow down the approach of this Gwen Wukong, because if you can use the equalizer to keep those melee champions away from your Yunara, that Dudu pushes in, the timing of this for Rich, a little bit inconvenient, you could say. Andel's actually going to set a trap here. This could work out incredibly well if they don't read it, and I mean, Dudu just has no idea.
Hide on bush.
Here.
Sponge is here as well. Dudu has to flash. That's not the flash you were looking for, and now he is absolutely dead as the exhaust comes through. Got a little bit close there, but still, first blood is given over to Rich just to trade it back.
This kind of backfires a little bit.
This was on Vision. Pyosik cleared a ward. We saw him doing that, and then he just started it up. Meanwhile, level 6 hit for Rich. Bunch of needles coming out towards Dudu, and he nearly just dies. Has to back away only because Pyosik is here, but that's just a leash on the dragon. So DRX say, we're winning the bottom lane. We're getting the dragon. The mid lane, you know, it was basically a trade. It's not a big deal that Yehu is low because he's getting everything else.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, without Prio, it's hard for Bulldog to just hold his ultimate and try to come over and help out the Drake, and then try to deny Yehu from getting over there. I mean, he's not really that behind.
Yeah, no, he's fine. But he did miss the cannon, so he's behind mentally.
He didn't hit the cannon and then end up getting all in by Yehu and lose control of the lane. So I think he's like calling worth on that one. Would have liked to get the cannon, but...
Sponge just doing 3 grubs on Vision.
Yeah, Quantum is caught as well. There's nobody here.
Yeah. Quantum's like, shouldn't we do something about this, guys? Everybody's like, no.
On the Rumble inside. Rich does not have Flash, of course, but Exhaust is going to be very helpful here in this potential defense. Doesn't have a stacked Q, is just going to ult.
Yeah, Dudu already tanking the turret, and he is not going down Rich as the turret shot gets him, and Pyosik even takes one for good measure. The dive is just a 1-for-1.
He's the one who gets the kill and not Dudu, though, which feels pretty frustrating. An assist worth of gold will go over to Dudu, at least in this case, but see if this is a catch.
Oh boy, Yehu has this all too. Bulldog even takes a turret shot, and that's a kill going over to Sponge, just a bit over-aggressive.
Particular case, as they are going to try to come over and contest this dragon, but I just don't see the angle here.
It's too late. It is going to be a Chemtech soul, by the way. Andal trying to engage, but they just disengage because Yunara does Yunara things, and the Rel just kind of hops away as well. They're going to fight anyway. Let's see how that goes, because I think as DRX, you could just look for Yunara and engage onto her, as now that's a very nice wombo combo from the side of DNF, but they're really not doing all that much. Finally, the Timbers does come down, but it's 2 kills to the side of DRX. The issue, though, being is that Berserker is still alive.
Now DRX regroup faster, will be able to get this Herald. And it's, you know, just another unfortunate objective loss here. I mean, DRX have objective feats of strength. They have all the grubs. They have both dragons. Now a 4th in the bag. If there was a 4th objective feat of strength to pick it up, they'd grab it. This is an ideal scenario for them. Berserker doesn't quite have his ghost back, but it's almost ready. He has ult at the ready too. They need to be really careful how they engage this. Dudu's equalizer placement could just be for zoning if they can get that dragon low.
All right, just doing a ton of damage to this dragon. Andal gonna go on in, just presses his ult on a Berserker. They're zoned away, but a lot used here by the side of DRX is down to Andal. And finally, the Wukong will follow up. Trying to just chip away at that front line. They already got the Annie. The burn on a Pyosik is enough. And they pulled off of the dragon at the same time, as Pyosik wasn't there for the smites. And so DRX take another big fight here and another dragon. That's what they call him, Optimistic Andal. But, yeah, just exerting pressure, I guess, fighting over banana brush control. There's no objective here just yet, but there is Otacon, so just trying to fight for bottom side.
Teddy?
Yeah, Teddy gonna try to turn around as his team comes up. Here comes Quantum. And now a stun on Andal. Looks very much caught out. They have tons of stuns, and it is going to be enough to take down the Nautilus, so nicely done by DNF.
I'm really on the hope train right now, Valdez.
Okay. Gonna be secure here from Pyosik as now the engage comes in, but that's onto the Wukong. That's not the target you want this time, Quantum, as now Pyosik's gonna go in, provides a front line for Berserker, doing a ton of damage here on the left side. That Feather Storm was totally useless, and the Feathers do not get called back onto anyone. DNF win a fight.
All right, look at that gold lead vanish, down to 300 now. And I don't think Rich is going to be able to do anything to contest here, even with Andal's help. They're just going to have to back out, even maybe looking to try to push the mid-turret, but Bulldog's one step ahead. Yehu looks for the steal with the weirding, isn't going to be able to get it. And they're going to actually pull to Otacon. This means the mid turret should go down. In fact, it will, but I think this is definitely going to be calling worth here for DNF if they could secure this.
I mean, they're already getting poked down a little bit. They got to be extremely careful about this, even in a 5v3 situation.
I mean, Sponge coming over.
Ult's coming in. Like, look at Piosik's health bar. This call, he's just dead. Yeah, who just kills him? And they don't know how to smite anymore. And guess who's coming on over? Rich trying to do some damage, but he's going to be taken out. Doesn't quite work out. They only get Piosik. This Otacon will go the way of DNF. There's no smite, but it doesn't matter because Sponge is not here either.
Yeah,
very grateful. I've been very grateful to have so many of them. And Quantum is trying to join the list right now. We have an equalizer here in mid, so they're trying to set something up. But yeah, I mean, they oftentimes call the shots, so we see a lot of engaged supports. And
his ult available as well. I don't know about this one, DRX. It's gonna have to be a great turn. Sponge no flash, but he's in position to Warrior's Trickster ult.
Oh, they're just gonna try to burn it. They're not even turning. Okay, the turn is kind of coming in here. A bit of a go on to Piosik. He's getting low. He flashes out of the pit, and that means there is no hope for this Baron. And a bunch of needles coming out. It looks like Rich is too low. They should be able to take him down, as does Berserker. But DRX got a full Baron out of that play.
Yeah, surprised to see the turn away anything further. See what the Baron gets done here for DRX, though, because they do not have any tempo on the map right now.
Sponge doesn't have his...
Flash is so close!
He doesn't have his W either. He's just dead. That was very, very sad, very silly. 5-man engage as a team, right? So...
I mean, they're going to get the inner turret and top lane with the Baron buff. Yehu just camping this. He had TP, so he can make the call to do this. But it's in trade for Berserker picking up a turret bottom side. Sure, not the same level of turrets and outer, but he's got so much money. And the main character here, and DNF have been playing around him so incredibly well. And even though we think, and I think we're right, that DRX have a great comp in Yunara, they haven't been able to group up and fight properly. The Baron turn was really poor. And we're just not seeing a normal 5v5 out of this team. You know, we haven't since really the mid game.
Yeah. I mean, if they press their buttons on the right targets, still an option. Andel going to go in here, but that is on a Quantum, who is going to smartly disengage. The rest of his team had already just kind of run away.
I mean, this is a Chemtech Dragon here. DNF shouldn't overcommit, but I mean, they have a nice angle to potentially flank.
All right, looking for Andel here. That's a ton of burst damage. They take out the support of DRX, but immediately down goes Quantum as in goes Yehu, kind of going insane on the Aurora, and not necessarily in a good way. He's going to be taken out. Meanwhile, Dudu is going to be pushed away from the fight.
I think he could still escape, though. I don't know about a re-engage here from Teddy. Does have his ult and flash, but the target selection, I mean, who are you really going to go on here? Berserker down his summoners, but he's got his dash back, and they've got an Annie here. This is a really risky situation for DRX. They want the soul badly. I just don't know if it's realistic.
I mean, Dudu has TP, so eventually this just becomes a 4v3. They smartly just wait, and the second the TP comes out, maybe DRX were just kind of posturing to make sure he TPs in.
You know, big ult. I am liking the position here for DNF quite a lot. I'm just going to get this inner here for free.
Yeah, Piosik actually pushed through the enemy jungle, put down a control ward, cleared out everything, and kind of said...
And I don't think there's a scrappy fight where two people walk out on both sides. I think it's going to be a sweep, whoever wins this fight. The Quantum angle
of the engage here. It's on to Bulldog. I mean, that is a decent target, but he gets the timbers out, and that's not going to be great. They finally do get Bulldog, but look at this front line just burning. Teddy goes, Teddy nearly takes off Berserker's head, but that means that he loses his own, and now Rich is going to, go golden. But I think eventually, yeah, he just goes down. DNF win a very important fight, and we'll look at the Baron.
Yeah, they are pretty low here, so, you know, with the timers of the death respawn timers for DRX, I think an end could have been possible if they had a wave, but they don't. You can see the wave is actually in mid. Yehu pushed that out, so they're just going to get Baron. Can reset full, use that Baron to siege the base. See, I just don't think jinxes are going to be real in this one. I think DNF done it, Valdez. Like, can confidently say...
It's just the fact that DRX are also at the same time not really hitting those beats that they need to. Like, even that fight where Andel kind of just went in and died and just pressed his R on Berserker, like, that was fine in the mid game.
It's a lot of healing and shielding power that might not necessarily matter in this game. Man, he's got a shield. You know, there's some...
Rel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And
if they get that is going to be quite big for their chances in this game. All right, looking for something. We got the big zoom in from Jonah Strong. He could feel it as they're trying to go for the front line. Pretty much anyone, and they're just going to press their buttons on a sponge. And the follow-up from Quantum is huge. And the equalizer as well on top of it. DNF are too big to fail. And it is actually coming true. They will win game number 1 as Yehu is also taken down. And DNF are crushing it. The fans are already ready to cry. It's just game 1.
Did not finish today. Did not fail. 909 Berserker. He is the man to carry this one, but his team set him up in every scenario, and it's a crushing victory here. DRX had a nice lead, but it all fell apart. DNF, another win on the board for Unara.
I feel like DNF smashed this draft out of the park, over DRX especially.
Like the game 1 draft where we thought, okay, this is really tough to play, the Unara, they have all the tools. Late game have been two things that go well together today. Did not work out for his Senna game last time around, but...
what happened here? Ondil's just dead!
Ondil's having a rough day, man.
First blood given over to Quantum. Just try to farm it out, but he got baited himself. Berserker gets engaged on here in the top lane, as now gonna have to use that heal to get away.
Get Rich here. Like, Rich is donezo, man. I
think Dudu could almost just kill him alone, but either way, he's gonna have Skarner here to help out. Pilchik with the last hit. As Berserker just backing right in front of them. My guy. Gets out. Waiting in the wings, but the wave is being cleared, so they don't really have a wave. Here comes the Talia as well, and they kill the Senna before any of that happens. Yehu gonna eat 2 turret shots, but he does get away.
Atlas would know.
It looks pretty cool. Yeah, he would know. He's like the one guy on our team that just always kind of knows. Going in onto Quantum. He does not have his flash. He has a ton of healing, but there are 3 guys here ready to eviscerate him, and eventually they will do just that. Sponge says, well, I'll take the kill if you don't want it, Teddy. And Sponge does pick up 1.
Berserker not even gonna ult. Ondil, are you crazy today, or he's really...
Oh,
it might
picked
work.
out of midair, and yeah, he still has his ult, so he's totally fine. Pioshik goes for the Impale, but very much overestimating the amount of damage that he and Berserker could do to an Alistar with ult.
Yeah. Consolation, but really did not expect that to go as well as it did, but the Alistar ult is still powerful. And that is also going to be another objective picked up here for DRX. You know, that's where you really want to be making sure you can find something, or Herald, right, which is also spawning in 90 seconds here. Rich does have, right now, his teleport, as Pioshik is caught, question mark?
Yeah, he's getting exhausted. They have the Jhin as well for the extra damage. The Sentinel is going to help out a bit, but Pioshik just walking in a straight line, didn't have anywhere else to go. And that makes it easy for another kill to go over to Teddy.
Down he goes.
Little play down here. Bulldog was, well, bullying Rich. We got TP coming in, but how long is that going to take from the Scion from the top lane? Bulldog, very nice divide. Talia coming on over. Dudu does get here, but it's 4v2. Until, well, the rest of the team comes in, but Bulldog is already dead. And so DNF responding big time to that play just to lose Bulldog.
Yeah, that really hurts.
And she gets played pretty often into his ear, or at least did.
So DRX are going to get this Herald for free with the timing of both the control they had topside, that pick in the team fight win bottom, the TP that was available for Rich gets him back up to the top side. I think contesting this with DNF's comp would be ridiculous, and they know it.
On the money and on the ball there.
Yeah, a lot harder than it actually looks.
Oh, it's just Hextech Soul. Okay. Very different from game 1.
Yeah, that's the high roll on the double dragon for the Scion in this case. And there's nothing to fight for here. Just want to remind DNF.
Yeah, you don't really have to fight for this vision. Taking a bunch of damage already is Pioshik, but so did Ondil. We got a wall coming down here. Pioshik will be forced to take a bunch of damage and just rock him into the wall. Meanwhile, Ondil is also taking damage on the front line. Sponge, he's the fed one, but he's nearly going to go down. Flash on in from Dudu, gets the job done. And, well, Rich, I mean, trying to frontline here. They got a block for Bulldog as, nearly gets Quantum as well on the backside. But actually a pretty good fight for DNF. They win it, and they get away. Meanwhile, Berserker's just farming more souls onto Teddy. Already at 57 here at 20 minutes. He's on pace.
Out his ultimate. He's going to use it to run over, but he won't have it for the fight.
Yeah, we have a wall coming down, so Yehu says, cool story, but the Bard ultimate gonna keep it alive. Pyosik, he's in the pit. They stop it at 3,600. That's very smart from DRX, but already a ton of damage done to Rich. And that means that maybe it wasn't that smart after all. It's going to be a flip, though. The knockup goes on a Sponge. The timing isn't there. And 5 health, and Sponge gets it. That's all you need. Tons of damage, though, from Bulldog on the right side. Impale goes down onto the front line. Sponge will be the sacrifice, but he picks up the Otacon.
Now, can they get the rest of these members out? I think likely yes. Not the greatest chase comp here. They're going to look for a shove.
I mean, they should just be able to get Quantum here. I think reaching a little bit too far.
And Bulldog was the one who had ult. You know, if he was the one who was wrapping around there, they do have enough prio. And with the rapid fire cannon done here for Berserker, I think they're starting to actually be able to just straight up 5v5 here.
Let's see how this goes. Andil, nice angle, but he's going to be spotted, and now it's maybe just going to be another flip here as nice Bard ultimate on a Teddy, and that's the one guy, the setup, but the wall actually going to interrupt the Scion, but still the front line here of DNF looking pretty strong, pretty healthy, as Dudu just getting it. Big 3-man knockup from the side of Andil, but the Dragon goes over to DNF. Bulldog on the run, he gets taken out. And now they just exit. They got the Dragon, though, and that's going to extend this game for so long. Yehu just goes in, and it's actually going to work out amazingly for the team. They get 3 on the backside of that fight, and it looks like they'll get a 4th as well.
And I can't even fault Pyosik for the play. Like, you know, that would seem like a slam dunk, but he just has enough health to get away. I don't even think he had Seraph, since this is very funny. Chase the Scion. Chase the Scion. Keep chasing that Scion.
Yeah, there's no Baron, so...
And then run from the Scions, ironically. That was a fight that looked like it maybe could have actually been the fight that gives DNF the win. Like, they have a win for DNF, actually a big win. Teddy caught.
Looking for Teddy, but the issue is, yeah, nobody can really follow up on that. A little bit of a overreach here. Andil has to go into his own ult. Meanwhile, the knockback here onto the front line is gigantic as DNF just hanging out, and they get punished for it. Down goes the Skarner, and Dudu's just ulting away. Meanwhile, the rest of DNF just trying to run, but the lockdown here from Teddy is there. So we do have some healing. Dudu looks like he is tanky enough, as another big shot will come through, but they got Pyosik.
Dudu does have TP, but without the jungler. With no jungler here, they just have to look for the fight win.
Yeah, I mean, Andil just going to flash away, and I think he just smite this down and go away. So that's totally fine for DRX.
That turret is barely standing here, but I think that alone will be enough of a deterrent of DNF for the follow-up. To still lose the objective, they will get this turret as consolation. Bounty is, as you mentioned,
got a bit there on Dudu. And is now looking for the angle here on a Rich, but he is quite fast. Just going to avoid the ult. Not really going to amount to too much. I like the idea of trying to look for a pick, especially with the Baron push coming on in. And now we have a wall coming in. The knock back on the wall gets sponged into the base. Not sure if they actually wanted that. Pyosik going to flash on in. It's a trade of a couple, but down will go Dudu. And DRX will like that one.
Incredible synergy between Andil and Yehu in this, though. Like, Yehu is just like, just go on him, man. It doesn't even matter. I'm going to flip him. It's done. I have the Tank Buster build, as you mentioned. And he doesn't quite have the Void Staff yet, but he still hurts. And, I mean, Teddy is also huge. And with no ult to delay the game from Quantum here, he's still got half that cooldown left. They can continue to siege. If they get any picks here, I think they just end. And maybe they just slowly push anyways. 40 seconds left on this Baron. They decide to play it safer and pull back for soul point push. So I think DRX should be careful about overcommitting here. There are several wards that Bulldog and Dudu can TP to, but they're just going to go on Pyosik.
Yeah, they're going to find Pyosik here once again. The ult's totally going to miss. This Bard is also a miss so far in this game, and Quantum should be going down here as well. Rich has got the angle on a Bulldog, who is Azir, and has to flash anyway. The two of them, though, I mean, Azir and Senna do so much, but there haven't been any fights where they can really show off their stuff. Now, 10,000 gold the lead. DRX, as long as they don't do a DNF, they should be totally fine in this game. They're going to take down all 3 inhibitors and take the Hex Gates out.
DRX super minions pushing towards the base. And Rich in the lane where the only defense was there for DNF, where they kind of had that one pushed out a little bit. He's like, nah, not really. I'm on that. And with Baron, TP for Rich, just going to TP back to the bottom lane.
determine how it goes. I feel like they should sync up the waves a little bit better. Ondil very low, actually. Gonna take a turret shot on top of it all, so gets redemptions. In goes Rich. He's just trying to find the angle, just trying to push in and take down the turrets. And Dudu quite low, actually. They have so much ability to get through the Scion as the last shot is going to get it done. Berserker lands that ult. So you see the chase here from Rich. In goes Bulldog onto that backline, but he's just getting shredded himself. And Berserker just distracted trying to kill an Aatrox. It's not going to happen. The wallets are just too large. And we will have a series on our hands. Game number 3 is on the way as DRX take down game number 2.
On getting into either the backline and taking out Berserker or just re-engaging. I think the re-engages and the follows that DRX can have with their own stolen Galio ult are really good. And both have monikers that have the list at the end of them to dictate their ability to analyze, although one of them, Valve Analyst, a little bit more respected in the...
Yeah, it was Galio ult too, so he doesn't even have to take any risk. He can just sit in mid lane, wait. He doesn't have to face check anything, and he can just press ult when it's time. As now TP is coming in, Nocturne ult utilized. That's the knockup with the Lulu and the Nocturne. And there's the Galio ult from Yehu. But now the counter engage is coming in. The first blood goes to Kaisa, because now Teddy in a bunch of trouble. He has to run away, gets cast and flagged to death by the Jarvan. And DNF respond excellently to the setup here of DRX on the Grubs.
Berserker here, chased down by Rich, but he won't be able to do anything. He cannot follow further. Would put himself at risk. Wants so desperately to, get a consolation back deny or a wave here, and that is not going to happen. So 3 kills now in the hands of the side of DNF. Maybe you could be like, oh, they play through that. Maybe the Silas steals an ultimate, and Yehu joins as well, and they start bullying Dudu. Instead,
what's going on up here? Rich, yeah, he thought he was safe with his Nocturne hanging around. The second he backs, they go in, and Dudu kind of just sets it up by himself with the alley-oop dunk from Pioshik.
Late game,
shenanigans.
Yeah.
Hullabaloo.
Some poor decision-making, some lack of judgment. Is playing through the Sivir, Prio, and push, and Teddy getting big. That's the only way. And it's going to require getting some sort of objective to buy time. Here we go.
This is one way to maybe do it. Caught Galio is going to be feared up, but is pretty fast. With the phase rush, he gets over to Pioshik. And Pioshik is just here to essentially say, get away from my friends. It's about the next dragon fight, especially.
I am as well, as it is Chemtech Soul again, and this is not favorable.
Yeah, I mean, Bulldog's just outplaying him. Yeah, who's just not hitting anything.
And he's on a 1v1, by the way.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd. The flash comes out, but the Cataclysm is there. Yehu with the Kingslayer staying alive. Do they have the damage? Is really the only question, and they do. Absolutely. As Pioshik comes over, and they secure themselves a kill. DRX will look to start up the Rift Herald in response.
Quantum is here with Flash ult. They're going to TP Richins. That should make it a little bit safer. I guess they will get away with this.
Yeah, let's see how they do. We do see a bit of damage coming in from Berserker and Quantum. They don't have to be there. Going in onto the Kaisa. The ult comes out and the flash, which is another reason why it's not the greatest target out of the 80 carry pool to go in on. Another great wolf point, and they didn't get the eye.
DRX are going to start this up to try to be the first one to catch that engage.
Yeah, I mean, Pioshik's standing right here. Nobody's really doing anything. There's the Cataclysm on a Teddy, but the counter with the Paranoia, and the Redemption does come in. The Cask hits that backline, but it's just looking like a bit of a Galio fest in here as the stolen Galio ultimate. Berserker's in a lot of trouble. The smite does go to DRX, but Yehu does get taken out. A very close fight at this point. Big taunt at the very end, but there it is, the kill from Pioshik. He finds his timing after Bulldog sets it up perfectly. And yes, DRX did get the Drake, but DNF get another fight win.
Teddy did so much in that fight, even without the Flicker Blade that we were talking about his inventory. His 5,000 damage, is able to do incredible work. Yehu is not able to connect his chains in the fight, but he's like, nah, I got this. I'm going to get in on top and take out that pesky carry, but unfortunately it's still not enough. Pioshik with 5 kills. Pioshik is here to say no ifs, ands, or buts, but here comes the engage with the Lulu ult.
Yeah, going in onto the Nico. Again, not the best target, but it's going to work. They're going to get Quantum.
If no one else is there, I guess eventually they get him.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe he is the best target. I think actually the Nico maybe an easier target even than the Kaisa.
And they can actually TP the Sylas in. He gets the turret and will be able to join the fight. And no paranoia. I mean, the timing of this, when it comes back, I think the Otacon might just simply be gone.
Yep, it looks gone. I mean, Sponge is thinking about it, but you can see he's very hesitant. Now they're pushing in as a team, but they see the health bar and they're like, oh, we got to get out. Nope, 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 we're done with this. That's an Otacon given over for free, essentially, over to DNF. They want to take a fight. They're just diving here as Rich is blown to smithereens. And now we got Sponge jumping straight into the Galio and just dying. DNF are smothering this team and it's not even close. 11-3, 12-3 as DNF take a huge fight after the Otacon.
And it looks like we may have a few more of these last chances left in DNF here in round 4. DNF crushing the fight. And they just knew those critical cooldowns are gone.
Other leads that they've had that have been like extreme late game, you know, they're pushing in, it's 40 minutes, it's been a grueling fight. They have so much momentum. It's
like this time they have a comp that's pretty basic, straightforward. It hard engages, it kills.
All right, finding it, Quantum sets it up. Rich gonna take a bunch of damage. Now the Nocturne ultimate comes in. Pyosik taking a bunch of damage himself, but it doesn't quite matter as Teddy frontlining just dies.
But, Teddy is not, and so many resources used there in the attempted defense. Dragon goes over here for free. They do not break the base.
But now the ward is there, so DNF got to be careful.
I mean, they get paranoia in. This is actually a bit scarier than it should be.
It's just like full vision on the objective. So meanwhile, we got Teddy just by himself as in goes Sponge, but trying to flash, trying to get the smite down is not going to happen. The wallets are just too big. DNF are getting it done. Teddy just died by himself on the bottom side to doo-doo.
They just could not get access. Wanted so desperately to. It might be Pyosik, to be honest. Like, his synergy with Berserker in the first game, but I don't know, man. With Berserker having this Kaisa performance, plus the fact that he just made Yunar look incredibly broken and untouchable, Chun-Chunny Hail, like, played slow or something like that. I don't know.
Because it's like 12,500 gold and they're worried, maybe. Honestly, that's fair. But again, this is a very different feel. A very different vibe, even, to the game that they threw.
They are certainly crossing their T's, dotting their I's and J's with this, like, Bulldog top push to look for third inhibitor.
Dotting their O's as well, potentially, depending on language.
Yeah, potential umlaut situation. A's as well as an accented I, even.
How about an accented E?
What about an accented C? Accented N? Maybe they're flipping an exclamation mark.
All right, going on in. Only going to catch the Nocturne here, but the cask is huge. And I think the Wallets have just got the job done here, as it's not the cleanest dive. Dudu actually getting pretty low. Teddy running around a little bit. They got to be careful, but the flash on in, and that is why you pick Jarvan into Sivir, because she cannot run away. And down he will go. Teddy, the last hope of this team here, DRX. Look to be the second team to fall to DNF here at the LCK 2025. And DNF, after months of losing, it looks like they have finally figured it out. They have finally been able to put it together and get a victory here once again.
Quantum looks relieved. He steps in. He steps up. Berserker having a night out. And DN Freecs keep the candle of that hope alive.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.